you know how Marco Polo is onesie twosie,
Yeah.
the text. So you might already know about House Party.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's just like Zoom, just informal.
Yep.
And you can play games and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm doing that back with some of my buddies back in Michigan. He sent it to me.
Yeah.
I kept arguing with him. I was like, dude, why don't we just do Zoom? Why do we gotta do House Party? And he's like, I don't know, everybody's just on House Party. It's definitely an easier app to use on the phone than it is on like Zoom on the computer is pretty easy, but it's not quite as easy on the phone. So I definitely House Party on my phone is way easier. And it's got games.
Yeah. Well, it just seems now that Zoom is the corporate communication of choice, it just seems much less formal.
Yeah.
And actually fun, kind of like Marco Polo. But I'll be fair with you, my team members don't love some Marco Polo. I mean, they're not adopting that.
You just got to get them over it.
I know.
On,
I know. And somebody will say, I hadn't been on there in 3 days. I'm like, well, you missed out on that. Don't be mad.
Yeah. Yeah. Sarah's commenting in the chat. She said, whoa, I love Marco Polo.
Well, you're the only. Well, let me say this. Sarah's the newest member of the team, and I've known some of my team members for years. And Sarah and I have talked more on Marco Polo by light years more than the others.
It's good. Yeah.
She's just was an early adopter and doesn't care.
It's good.
Yeah. Sarah's getting into it a little bit. Sarah Penn, I mean.
Cool. So what else? Josh, what topics would you love to see on a mastermind?
Well, I think right now it's there's the focus on what does lead generation look like. Yep. It's a lot of phone calls. It's a lot of messages. It's a lot of emails. And I think that's been interesting, not being able to do a whole lot of face-to-face or and not being able to go do a Bold 100 or whatever it is and go out in public. It's having to be via phone or via messenger.
So that is actually the topic for Thursday's mastermind.
Yeah.
Somebody else, that was Laura Hooper in our office that brought that up. She wanted to talk about lead gen and also converting the leads. Once you she's like, I can do lead gen, I can make phone calls and stuff. I just can't figure out how to get people to take action. So
yeah,
we'll talk about Thursday at 10 a.m. is when that one will be. I'll see if I can line somebody up for that to have that discussion.
Awesome. Yeah.
I mean, it depends on where you want to take it, Matt. I mean, like, I think maybe we should think about there should be a 5 million and up producer conversation. Everybody would be welcome.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people out there, the level in the MREA that people don't really get stuck at, but and it's comfortable is level 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so how to build a level 4 team, because I mean, in today's environment, even, I mean, there's some people out there that really would like to be on a team right now. And some that wouldn't. I mean, everybody's got their jam, but I think I've just not wanted to say that because then the individual agents don't want to be on that mastermind. But I guess not. Right. And I think might be tough to find something for everybody. We might just have to bite the bullet on some stuff.
Yep.
I mean, I lean more into the one thing more than I do to Bold.
Yeah.
Josh might like Bold. I mean, that dude's sitting there yelling in Bold, and I'm sitting there all scrunched up.
Man, calm down.
So we just have our yes, like you got Tourette's in Bold. What in the world? So anyway, I guess we're not going to be able to find one sweeping thing for everybody until the group gets bigger.
Yeah.
I hear you on that.
I mean, okay, I see where the pivot. We're still going to reach our goals just in a different manner. That would, some people don't know how to pivot or have any idea what maybe even the word pivot means, like even the definition.
Yeah.
Much less how to move their business of 2 buyers and four friends.
Right.
And then you have the people with 4,000 friends, and they don't know how to pivot that.
Yep.
Type thing.
Yeah.
But my team, I've been, Sarah will tell you this, I don't know who all's on there because I'm on the phone, but I've been going the onesie twosie route mainly. Texting and calling my folks, see if they need individual questions answered, help, pictures taken. We've talked about this. The picture taking has become a little bit of an expensive thing for me because I have a digital photographer. What is Amy? A graphic designer by trade as an admin.
Yeah.
But she's also a high C and a hypochondriac, so she don't want to be out there in houses that have people in them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we did a Matterport on one, and then we did that lake house. So the lake house did not get a Matterport. It got a drone. So we're just doing different things for different houses.
Yeah.
Have you found for the walkthrough videos? I mean, I know we can share those on MLS for walkthrough videos, and share it on Facebook. Have you found any other avenues or venues to be able to get those, imagining that traffic, whether Realtor.com, Zillow.com, to get to see those and get a good return on investment rather than just, hey, seller, I'm making you happy?
Yeah. Zillow, they've always been really weak. It's always been about pictures, and you got that little button below the picture that says virtual tour, and it's very unexciting. And remember, the virtual tours used to just be this. You might be too young for this. It just used to be like, go like this in the corner.
Yeah, they would just take the actual picture, zoom into the actual picture, and then pan it left to right.
It was embarrassing. We didn't do it.
We're going to zoom it in, and we're going to go like this. Back and forth.
Yeah.
It was, you just got to keep, no. The answer is no. I use my blog as a platform, and so my Facebook page has, 6,000 people on it, and just pop $50 on it. I mean, through command. That's the back. Can you do a video through command? Is that what he's asking actually?
Well, trying to get them out to get a better return on your money, because you spend that much money on Matterport or walkthrough video, and then who can actually see it and actually getting the eyes from the listing to that buyer.
So
who are actually.
One thing I can't, sorry, I'm getting a private message here. One thing I can't figure out, we tried to go into the MLS and figure out what how to get one of those walkthrough videos.
Yeah.
Because they sent that thing out saying, yeah, you can do walkthrough videos, and we put it on there, or we went to put it on there, and the link isn't there. Like the video that they're showing us, the link isn't there. So
I think the biggest problem I've been seeing from the MLS notifications that come across me when people are getting fined is that it's a twofold, because with all your videos that you're doing on your house, you want them to be labeled. You want your name on it. You want all that. And you can't do that with MLS. So that's the conflict. So I've had some agents that have put it out there, even in the description, hey, click on my video. But if it's labeled and it's attached to them, MLS is trying to fine everybody for it. And I'm getting all these notifications on that. What I have found, I have seen in my networks, that if you want to get more eyes, that's not going to cost you any money. Start joining, I don't know what areas of town that you're in, but start joining all the community pages, like pages for specific neighborhoods and pages like Irmo, Chapin community neighborhoods, because that is going to be seen by all those people out there that have friends and family that might be moving into the area, which you're going to have a lot of reach without having to pay for it.
Taking notes.
yeah, I think one of the things you don't want to do, like Brian Slinker talked about in our office meeting today, he's big into the command Facebook ads. Have you done one of those, Josh?
Yeah. I've done mainly just the carousel pictures and ads in that regard, rather than a video, since it's but I'm looking at doing something that basically says, hey, friends, and targeting my friend group, and just reminders of here's what's on the market to remind them I'm in real estate, and work as that other point of contact rather than just sending out a message that they respond maybe in 12 hours or 48 hours or maybe in 5 minutes, and it's just sometimes awkward there. Yeah,
mind share. I think having making a Facebook ad with a screenshot of a link to a virtual tour. So Brian said he messed up because he posted his virtual tour and made it so that you could actually watch the virtual tour before you actually click the link. He's like, so I got all these impressions and no leads because nobody clicked the link. They just watched the virtual tour and on about their way. And you can post like a screenshot of that, and so they click that, and that takes them to the registration thing so they watch the virtual tour or the walkthrough, and that's going to get out there to more people too, I think.
Command released a bunch of new templates also for design, and those are probably really good for ads too. They have like a new like leadership, and I think there's even one that says like bold or not bold, pivot, shift ahead, and there's a bunch of like layouts for like the times right now. Yeah,
they really stepped Command, and the marketing team and Command has really stepped up the last couple weeks and all the releases they've come out with different ways to communicate with other agents and with the clients that you're trying to market to and potential clients, and going out there and finding the motivated. I mean, that's what we've been talking about a lot, is go find the motivated, it's like the week before Christmas right now, where there's not a ton of people out there buying, but the people who are out there buying are like, they need to buy something.
Yeah.
So they're motivated.
I would just subscribe to the way of thinking that if they like a house and they think they like a house, they'll find the video.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll find it. It's just not a great marketing piece, but if they like the house, they'll go click the Zillow button, as small as this is.
Yeah.
Can you put a sign up, and like she said, put it in remarks or descriptions, even at very first, see walkthrough video. On your 36th picture, can you say, or even your 5th picture, can you put a sign that says video below with an arrow?
Have y'all tried?
If it's unbranded, you can. If it's branded, you're not supposed to.
Well, Zillow, I mean, not MLS.
Oh.
We used to do too. So we would ask the guy at Fiverr, we'd give him our great video, and Fiverr would take off the branding and we'd put that in MLS. And then I think Amy would drop the branded video in the Zillows and Realtor.com. And truth told, if you can't get it branded on there, it's okay. You're just really trying to sell the house for your client anyway, first and foremost. Just a little ego pop, but.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where. I just can't. The MLS put a thing out about how we can add walkthrough videos, like our actual, like walkthrough videos and virtual open house schedules, and I can't figure out where we can add either of those.
There's one of the boxes for virtual open houses. I've gone in there and changed that link, but then the hosting had to be done on a YouTube I created that was generic and didn't have any of my contact information on it.
So the thing that they sent out said you go to add or edit open house, and then you go to new, and then there's supposed to be like a little box up above that we want to use to make the virtual open house, but there's no box there for me. I don't know where that box is to click. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like the video, like I followed the video right along, and then there's a box in the video, and there's not a box in the actual MLS. So not sure what that is. Yeah, I don't know. What's up, Sarah Pan?
Hey.
What magic are you doing to communicate with your clients right now?
I wouldn't say it's magic. It's just I created a blank email and a blank text, like in our Boomtown, that say, "How's it going?" sending that out. And I have another one or an email, and then I have another one that's just like a market update. And so, you know, I follow up with people once a month, once a week, once every 2 weeks. So depending on what they have, I have like 3 that are kind of circling. And I mean, how are you? What's going on? Is you get a response. And a lot of people are like, thanks for checking on me.
Yeah.
But most people are like, I want to wait right now in my queue.
Yeah.
And I just was at a listing for a lot I have, and they're flipping the house next door, and that should be on the market soon. And I took some videos of the lot because we haven't gotten very much traction.
Yeah.
I'm going to post those on social media this afternoon and tomorrow.
So what is your lead generation look like right now? Are you lead generating every day?
I'm getting my calls in every day. It's kind of all over the place. Sometimes it's in the morning and sometimes it's in the afternoon. So, but I am getting my calls in every day, and I've been, you know, really chatty with my SOI. So that's been good. But though most of those people are just kind of more curious what's going to happen. I've got a couple that are looking to move, but they don't really want to unless it's the right house. So this isn't the ideal time for them.
Yeah. So how are you overcoming people's objectives? Are you trying to overcome their objections? And that's not just, I'm not just with questions. I'm just asking the group. Like when people are saying that I'm not ready to sell, or, you know, I don't think right now is the time to buy. Like, what's the conversation look like?
So for my buyers, there was their lease isn't up until October, and so we found a house, and it was basically a conversation of you're able to purchase now, and cost wise, they're high C personality. So cost wise, this is what the numbers are going to look like. Do you want to be done with your search and able to focus then on work in the rest of your life, and just be able to move into your new home, or do you want to continue searching until maybe a little bit closer? And in their minds, it became just a weighing of a cost analysis. And for them, it said, well, let's go ahead and be done. Even if it costs us a little bit more now, it's going to cost roughly the same. So we'll move forward with it. But that was something that I didn't feel like I was pushing that on them so much, as they were still curious about homes.
Making their decision. Yeah, I've had a lot of luck with, or success, whatever you want to say, with saying, like, I don't have a crystal ball, but we know what things are. We know what it is right now. So we have to make decisions based on what it is right now. We don't know what it's going to be like in 2 months. It could be way worse for us, or it could be way better. But we know that right now this house fits for you. Or, you know, this office fits for the house that you're selling, or whatever. And, you know, let's make a decision and go. So I think a lot of people are caught up with the unknown right now. Like, I don't know what's it going to be like in a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever. Like, we don't know.
Right.
We know what it's like right now. And right now, here's the environment. And do you want to do something, or do you not? You want to wait it out and take the chance that the environment's going to be way worse, and you might not be able to get a mortgage, or you might not be able to sell your house, or you might lose, you know, $20,000 in value on your house or price.
Yeah.
So we don't know what that looks like, but we know that right now I actually decided to have this conversation with a seller on one of our listings for our team, who put his house in the market Friday, got an offer on Saturday that was a really good offer, and got freaked out and decided he wanted to take his house off the market.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's like, the reality of it has just hit us. Like, Nicole was talking to him and dealing with it all, and she called me and she's like, I'm going to need you to step in on this one.
Yeah.
So I called the guy. I was like, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know. It's just the reality of moving. And I think that's where communication comes from. Like, we did not do a very good job of communicating with him initially, and just making sure that the picture was painted of what things look like and what the reality was. And it was like a 3 or 4 month long process of getting his house on the market, because he had a bunch of stuff he needed to do, repairs and all this stuff. And so once it got to the point where it's like, okay, we're ready to list, it was just like, okay, you know, snap into gear, get the pictures taken, get in paperwork, get this, get that, get this, get that. And so we just went, and there wasn't really a whole lot of conversation with him about, like, you know, the current environment, and okay, you know, you're going to have to move. And Nicole was showing him houses, and you know, they had looked at one that they liked, but there was already an offer in on it, and they hadn't really seen a ton they liked.
Yeah.
So it just made me think like, man, we didn't set his expectations right. We didn't communicate right. And now he's freaked out, and now we can't walk it back. Where if we would have talked about it better up front, you know, like, hey, how, you know, you're going to have to move. Cause that was his big thing. He's like, we're going to have to move. And I don't know who's going to help me move. Like I got a like 14-month-old and my wife, and we got to move our whole house. And like, I just don't know that, like, we haven't found a house we like yet. Like, there's just too many things up in the air. We're just not ready to go.
Yeah.
And the buyer actually said they were willing, their lease wasn't up until the end of July, and they were willing to wait until the end of July to close.
Man.
So I was like, hey, they said they're just keep the offer. You just sign it and they'll close. Like whenever you want to close until the end of July, they're good. And he's like, man, we're just not ready. I'm like, what?
Man.
So I went through every conversation I could go through with him. Like, you realize that you have a offer on your house, like at the peak of the market right now that we're in. Like, I don't think, like, we don't know if prices are going to go down right now, but we know they're not going to go up. Like, prices are not going to increase. So it's either sell it for this or sell it for something lower later. So July is that not giving you enough time? Like, what are we really talking about here? And I could never get to his pain.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a bad conversation, like a lack of conversation and communication up front led to, you know, him just not being ready for what was coming.
Yeah.
So it's a lesson
What's the
learned.
personality?
What'd you say?
What's DISC personality profile?
I don't know what he would be. Just weird.
Asshole.
I mean,
Asshole.
yeah,
Well, and I think it's tough
nice.
because nobody.
he's kind of like a I wouldn't call him like a good friend of mine, but he's like a guy that I know. I've known him for a long time. I sold him that house, you know, 8 years ago, and like he's kind of a part of my friend group.
Yeah.
Like I don't talk to him regularly, but he's not just some random guy off the street. And I mean, he was super apologetic. He's like, man, I'm so sorry. I know you did all this work, and like I know you did the pre-inspection, and I'd love to pay you for that. And like Jason had to do all this stuff with the pictures, and it was, you know, like, really, dude. But it just was what it was. And like I feel bad because I feel like I'm like I let him down a little bit too, because I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you to make this sound right, but I didn't say this to him, but I'm like, you're making a mistake, and I don't know how to that you're making a mistake, and that you need to just deal with it a little bit here. But you have a house that, I mean, he's got a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house in like Midland Terrace, not in a very good school zone. So I'm like, you have a great offer, and you can get this offer, close it in July, and the houses you're looking at in July are probably going to be better deals in July than they are right now. So like,
Where does he want to go?
I mean, downtown or Casey, but that's one of the things I said. I was like, so you're telling me that you don't want to look for houses anymore, and you don't want to sell this house, and we're just going to like pump the brakes for 6 months or 9 months or however long. He's like, yep. I'm like, so if your dream house comes on the market tomorrow, the absolute most perfect house comes on the market for, you know, like under what your budget is, would you go buy it, or would you not want to buy it? He's like, no, we're just not ready to move. I'm like,
wow.
Okay. I don't know. I don't have anything else. I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah.
Just keep him on a drip. It sounds like that might be a buyer that's a liar. He just needed out of that conversation for that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He was dug in on you right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. Like, I think that they weren't getting what they wanted on the buying side, and it freaked them out. And they're like, we're going to sell our house and not have anywhere to go. And so just was what it was.
I think it's going to be a lot of buyers that are on drips. It's a lot of drippy buyers. Wow.
Well, I said that because something perfect might come along, and they get into their, oh, babe, look at this.
Right.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, his big thing is he doesn't know how he's going to move. He's like, I can't have he's a freaker outer, and he's worried about, he's like, I have to have my friends come, and I can't have my friends come. I can't have my family help me move. I don't want to have movers come in and touch all my stuff. And so like, I just don't know how I'd actually, like, physically, logistically, I don't know how I would actually move to a new house.
That could be something like a Instagram or video, Facebook thing where you could Zoom with like Soda City Movers or 3 Men in a Truck and talk to them about what ways they move people right now.
That's true.
And what safety precautions they have.
Yep.
might, you know, because I mean, I would kind of be like that too. What am I going to do with my kid? Who's going to watch my child while my wife and I pack up our stuff? I mean, I've moved with 14-month-old kids before. You would like literally have to take them to grandma and grandpa for 3 days so you can move.
Right. Well, that's what he's saying. He's like, we can't take them to grandma and grandpa.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Which I had, that was the first time I've actually thought about that scenario.
Right.
Like the actual physical part of moving right now, that's interesting because not everybody uses a moving company. I mean, even 2 men in a truck, like I'm pretty sure that they don't have the, you know, most perfect COVID hygiene stuff going on, you know?
One of them was posting pictures of their guys wearing masks. It might have been Soda City, like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It could be an interesting like marketing or little Instagram interview
That's
thing to do.
It's a great idea.
Because
all these conversations and all these masterminds and everything, all the calls I've been on this time, that was the first time I've actually put my head around like, actually moving. That is kind of that's a thing. I haven't actually thought about that.
Yeah.
We talked about showing houses and listing houses and getting people in and doing listing presentations, doing all this stuff, but the actual physical moving from here to here, I haven't really
like a pod might be the best way to do it, because then you're packing it up and your stuff is like not going to be touched by somebody else.
Good idea.
Or if they touch it and they put it in a pod, you leave it there for 24 to 48 hours before you move it out.
I talked to him about that. I mean, I offered to let him stay in one of my Airbnbs for however long. I was like, dude, just move out of there, take your wife over there and let her stay there with the kid and you go pack a pod up and like whatever. I mean, and
well, think of how
he
many.
was also worried they hadn't found a house to buy. And so he was like, I don't want to sell this one, not having where to go. I'm like, you put it in a pod and move in my Airbnb. Like I got crazy right now.
Think of how many, he's messing up because that buyer's so flexible. But think of how many trips to Lowe's and Walmart and Target you do when you move.
Yep.
Like, how would you do that right now? It would be really tough.
Yep.
But I have one right now under contract, and the buyers and the sellers were both just really flexible on dates, and that's what made it work.
Yeah.
It was like the buyers are like, we don't really have to be there until August, but we see this opportunity to buy a house right now when we don't know what the future is going to be like. They were very easy to work with. They called me on a Sunday and we were under contract by Tuesday. And it was like a friend's referral. You know, I had sold their sister a house the year before, who's also a friend of mine. So it was a good referral, but it was just like, they're like, well, we don't want to close until like maybe mid-May. And the sellers were like, hey, could you close June 1st? And the buyers were like, sure, we're flexible. You know, so now everything's like wrapped up, and thank God it's a cash buyer.
Yeah.
Because they, you know, I'm not worried about them not having or losing jobs. Because someone else was telling me a situation where everybody had jobs and they got pre-approved, and then they all lost their jobs, and now they have letters saying that they're going to get their job back. But what, you know, like that puts you in limbo.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm dealing with buyers. They're just not ready.
Yeah.
Like my sellers are being like, do we sell? I don't know. Like I have one old lady who can't have showings. So her house is, everything's signed, but she can't move. We told her she had to move out before we could sell it because it's a mess. And so she's like in limbo. And then I had another couple, and they're not going to sell because they were going to stay. They have business here and they didn't need this big house. They were going to sell it, but now they can't stay in hotels. They won't sell for a while.
Yeah.
So
an Airbnb if they want to stay there. Lots of
I'll
those.
let them know.
Lots of those available.
But I had one, she was like, well, I have a 500 credit, or I had a couple that were like on the edge. Like one person was supposed to be approved the middle of April, and they're now going to be another month.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But they're still like, we're ready when we get pre-approved. When we get pre-approved, we want to move.
That's awesome. Motivated. That's what you're trying to find, right? Find the motivated. Cool. Anybody else have anything to bring up or throw out? Cool.
So similar, I have a seller that they basically said older lady lives in the house, and getting calls from buyers to see it. And she's basically said, I don't want it shown. I don't want anyone on the property or even me coming in the property to take a walkthrough video. And so that's just on hold. I'm not sure. I haven't taken it down off the market because I'm still getting calls. And so do y'all have anything like that? What are you doing?
So I had one like that. It was the same thing. Haley kind of called me in and was like, I don't know what to do with this. So it fell through 3 times. We had buyers, all 3 of them lost their jobs. So we had to put it back on the market. And the sellers are like, dude, this is crazy. We have to work from home. And as soon as you put it back on the market, we're going to get 15 showing requests for 15 different times a day. And we're not allowed to go anywhere. Like everything's closed and locked down. So what are we going to do? Just drive to the end of the street and sit in the cul-de-sac with our dog and our kid and just sit there for 5 hours? And so it's a little different situation, but I think it's just getting to the bottom of the pain of the people and letting them know, like clearly tell them how it could work. So what we did was we just said, let's just set a showing time. And this is actually what we did with that guy that decided not to sell when we got under contract. We said, let's just say there's like an hour and a half window on one day where anybody can come by and show, and the listing agent will be there, and the seller, before the seller leaves, will leave all the doors open, leave all the lights on, and the agent can make sure that they're there to see that all the doors are open, lights are on, whatever. And you can tell the showing agent, like, hey, I'm here. We're only going to let one group of people in at a time. Like, here's some booties. So, take the booties. Here's a mask. If they don't have a mask, whatever. Go in and look, but don't touch anything, please. And then as soon as you're out, we'll let the next person in. And so that agent became like a bouncer a little bit.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you guys wait, the people in there already. And then when they come out, like, here's more booties, or take your shoes off or put booties on and put a mask on, everything. You touch it, just walk through and look. And I think, for our sellers weren't as worried about the germs side of things as they were about just having to come and go and come and go and come and go.
Yeah.
But we've since used that. Like, this other guy that decided to take his house off the market. He was a little bit worried about the germ side of things. And we were like, look, we can do it that way. And then that's, one window of time when people are coming, and then you can come home and, wipe your doorknobs down and whatever one time. And that's it. And actually Nicole wound up doing that before she left. She's like, I went in and wiped all the doorknobs down and whatever, even though people shouldn't have been touching them because we would have no reason to touch them because the doors are open. And so, like, she even left the outside doors open. So if you want to get in the backyard, the outside door is open. The screen door is like got the little thing on it, so you can just come and go as you want. And so I don't know. That's the only idea I've had, and it's worked so far for people in that situation.
I feel like somebody on like a previous mastermind had also mentioned that they gave, like, if it was like a family, they gave them like a gift card or something, like to Chick-fil-A or wherever, just so they can take the kids out for ice cream or whatever it may be, just so they have something to do during that time. I thought that was like a pretty good idea, like $15-20 or something, like go get yourself some ice cream. I'll show the house for an hour and then.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So, and at the end of the day, the seller's going to do what they want to do, but all we can do is just try to overcome the objection and figure out what their real pain is. Like, so what's really the problem? Are you worried about people touching surfaces? Are you worried about people breathing in your house? Are you like, what?
Yeah.
Where are we at? 'Cause let me see if I can help you. Because at the end of the day, you want to sell your house, or do you not want to sell your house? Because I think showing them the advantage of selling it now as opposed to later, financially, would also help with that. This could have a pretty big impact, on what things look like in the previous crashes. And for me, going through that last crash and being able to say, like, in 2008, people were like, oh yeah, I don't know what the market's doing. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm going to have my job and whether I'm going to be able to go buy something else or whatever. And in 2009, 10, they were like, oh my gosh, I should have sold my house in 2008. What was I thinking? Why didn't I put it on the market?
Yeah.
Because the prices were just like,
yeah.
So I'll use that example and again say, like, I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know if that same thing is going to happen or not. Like, this is a totally different thing, but I mean, back then, the worst jobs report we had was 700,000 people in 1 week claiming unemployment. And this week we had 6.6 million, 3.3 million, and 3.5 million in 3 consecutive weeks. So like, what's that do to prices a few months from now when people don't have jobs? I don't know. But if I'm selling a house right now, I'm sure it's like getting on the market and trying to sell it before craziness happens.
Yeah.
Can y'all believe that you are actually poor if you own oil right now?
I know.
You're in the negative.
I'm trying to figure out where I have that can store barrels of oil right now.
I mean, what in the world? That is crazy.
There's just
back to the
tankers.
point. I'd kind of go the other way and say there are more people able to buy your house right now because of interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
And jobs than there were.
Then
we don't know.
Then this is your time to shine.
Yep.
Until it's not.
Yep.
Or you may be stuck here a few years, and if that's fine with you, but to your point, if you're looking to move, this is when you do it.
You got a window where things are still normal. Like this is your. Things might start getting pretty weird pretty quick, and once they start getting weird, your door's shut. Like you might not be able to move anymore. Yeah. That's a perfect thought.
And if people are leaving their houses, they obviously are very interested because most people aren't trying to leave their house, you know?
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you're dealing with ultra motivated buyers right now. Buyers who are willing to come out and walk through your house. Like they want to buy a house right now and they're going to buy a house. Yeah. So you'll never find.
Yeah, they probably don't want to be in anyone's house anymore so than the person wants them in their house.
Right. Yep. It's a great point. Great point.
I was pulled up the MLS. I did a virtual open house. The only spot I found to label that was I created a Google Meets and put that link into Bitly and then shortened it with the address and then went back to the comments of the open house. That's the only spot I could find to do anything with it. So I don't think they've actually done.
Yeah, it's so weird. The MLS put a video out saying you can now put virtual open houses in there and list them as virtual open houses with your links, and it's not possible. Like the video they put out, the MLS doesn't follow the video. So
well, should one of us call Robin? I mean, I'm not on the MLS board or anything.
Yeah, I'm going to. I think that was the thing that Amy posted on our internal page. We posted it and Amy was like, yeah, I can't get it to work. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And I went back and looked, like I actually went through the process. The first time I did anything, all I did was pull the video up and went through the video. And I was like, oh, cool. But I didn't actually log in the MLS and check to see if it worked because it looked like MLS. And apparently Amy went in there and did it and was like, yeah, it doesn't actually look like that.
Gotcha.
Cool. Well, all right, guys.
Awesome. I appreciate it, Matt. Thanks.
Appreciate you guys coming by. So like I said, that the lead gen and converting leads we'll do Thursday, and I'll see if I can find somebody who's doing that at a high level from somewhere and get them on there.
Richard, let's see if he can be on it. I mean, making 100 calls a day, that's a lot of calls.
Yes.
That's a lot of note dialing.
Yep.
Does he have a three?
What'd you say, Franklin?
Does he have a triple line dialer?
No.
He's doing it with his fingertips. Doot.
I think so.
100 people. Okay.
I think he had Red X or Mojo Dialer, or he had something at some point, but I don't think he has that anymore.
Josh, you remember Richard?
Yeah, my first name is Richard. So.
Well, no, I mean you remember him from being at 684. He was a dialer out there.
Yeah, I was actually at a listing appointment when he called and left a voicemail on the homeowners.
That's great.
I could not believe it.
You should have picked it up, dude.
No, it's fine, man. You don't need to answer that. We're discussing
great. That's proof he's not lying. He's doing the damn call.
Totally should have just grabbed that and been like, Richard, we're good, dude. I got this one. We're good. Thanks. My first name's Richard also.
Nice.
My father was Richard.
Yep, and all of my fathers, grandfathers, and great-grandfathers, and all those other guys are all Richard also.
Well, I love y'all, but I think we're going down a rabbit hole here.
Yeah.
All right, no, I'm just
Thanks,
kidding.
guys.
My wife's been by herself with the kids for a minute. I better roll.
Yep.
Have fun.
You guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a good
See
afternoon.
you Thursday, hopefully.